we've been given His name, filled with His Spirit, to carry on His ministry until Jesus Christ returns.
One of the cool things about the way God works is that He does provide for His people. And God has been so faithful for our congregation over the years. I would have never imagined that our church would have grown to the size that it is. And if you had told me that it was going to grow like this and that we were going to need to raise this many volunteers and raise this much dollars and have this much space, I just said, no way, there's no way that that is ever going to happen. And yet God surprises us and God provides. And our congregation has always been very generous. They've always been very open to respond to God's call. And so we just have this confidence and this faith that when God calls us, then the resources are going to raise up and they're going to come from His people. This is the way you fund a church. The people of God give, and they give as God leads them to give.
This structure was built by the stewardship and the generosity of those people on Gordon Avenue. It's an amazing story. 89 people said, we can do that. Well, why could they do it? Because they had been through times when God had said, look, you need to be generous. God gave so that we can give. So everything we do here is really based on God's love being given to us. That's why we do it.
I think the future of Cedar Hills community is bright. And I think that because we have put God first and we've asked Him to tell us the direction that He wants us to go. I do believe it's going to require at some point in time more facility than we have today. But I think it's important also that we that we take care of the debt that we have now. But once we're through that, I think there's going to be an explosion of what this church can do as far as impact for Christ in this community.
It has been a miraculous thing. Year after year after year, we look at the budget and we recognize, look, another year has gone by and God has provided exactly what we needed. And that helps, I think, encourage our faith. It helps to encourage some vision. It helps to encourage us toward thinking, well, God's calling us to big things and God's going to then provide for those things. So that's how we look at finances generally. For this campaign, I think it's the same basic strategy. We say, do you feel like God is calling you to give? And if God is calling you to give, then respond to God and obey Him and follow what God tells you to do. And we will use the resources that God provides carefully to continue the ministry, to continue the mission, to continue to impact our community. And that's the vision that we have.